What's up, Geardos and Weirdos, and welcome back to another episode of We're Talking About Nylon, because we have an addiction and it's totally okay. I can stop whenever I want.
I don't think I can. I need an intervention.
Nor do I want to.
Right.
So today we're talking about the OPFAK from Refuge Medical. We're going to get into the kit I used to be running before, which is the SOB, also from Refuge Medical. They're amazing. Check them out. We have a coupon code down in the description that'll get you a little bit of cheddar saved on getting some good life-saving equipment that's 100% made in America. Either way, if you have an acceptable pouch, I guess you could put good components in it, but you should have a pouch as good as your components, just personal preference. Full disclosure, Refuge sent us the OPFAK. More or less, we wanted to test it, so this is kind of a first look. First look meaning that when we did the Battle Belt video before, you should go check that out if you haven't, because we talked about our setups. Mine has changed quite a bit since then, but we did have some of the B-roll that had the OPFAK in there. So I was running the SOB before. More or less, I love it. I think I ran it for like 2 years right after they came out with it. I had another belt pouch on my belt that had a much wider footprint. I guess not wide, but thicker. So it was about the same. It was like four rows. I think this one's 4 rows. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it was about the same size, but the SOB had a great footprint. It's nice, it's slim, you can still sit in a vehicle relatively comfortably. I dig it a lot. I'm struggling over here. Thank you, Brian.
You bet.
So it's a good kit. Brian is in the middle of remodding this one. We got it really wet recently, and so we've been cleaning it a little bit. You might have seen that. It was involving some fireworks.
It was immensely wet.
Yeah, it was like two and a half hours of standing in the pond wet. So Brian's remodding that one, but I was running the SOB for a long time. So some things I'm going to reference on the OPFAK, it was just because this was my reference point, I guess. This was the thing that I had gotten used to that I actually liked compared to a lot of the other kits I was using. Some of the other kits were breakaway, so they had a strap and a clip on there. Those aren't bad, honestly. Like, I enjoyed them. We are using them for a couple other things right now, but I like this because I wanted a hard-mounted belt kit that you could dummy cord and had an inner that you could slide out and get to where you needed to work, and then put it back if you want to. Drag it behind you because it's dummy corded, you name it. Go check out the dummy cords video as well. It may come out before or after this.
It's important.
I'm not sure. It's important to keep your stuff, especially the life-saving stuff you need on you. So today we're talking about the OPFAK. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull my inner belt out here, get rid of that so I can kind of flatten this out on the table. Make it hopefully a little easier for our B camera, which a ghost is manning right now. Okay, maybe that was a bad idea. Maybe we'll keep the inner belt on.
Yeah. No inner belt, it will bite this table.
Stick to the table. All right, we're doing it live.
I love it.
Totally professional. Doing it live.
Hold on, we gotta flip that in, or this loose tail will grab it too.
Yeah, Brian's onto something over there. So my belt's changed a little bit since we did that video. I guess my belt kit's kind of excessive at this point.
Danger check this? Did you danger check it?
Oh yeah, it's definitely my dry fire gun. It's definitely doesn't have any ammo anywhere near it most of the time. Unless we're doing night vision, it's also my pistol that has an arrow light on it. But it's my dry fire gun, so there's no ammo in any of these because you shouldn't be dry firing with ammo near you.
Right.
We'll do some dry fire content soon. It's been hard to postpone that, honestly. So the OPFAK's great. It's got the inner and an outer portion. So there's an outer sleeve. There's an inner component with all the goodies in there. I can't remember if they call it the sled or what the technical term Refuge uses is. Sorry, Bob, I love you. It's nice. Again, the advertisement that we are a little special around here, and I might not lick windows, but I will get some mouthfeel on some nylon. The nice part about the outside of this is that there's a lot of kits that have similar slots for chem lights, salami sticks, beef jerky,
Slim Jims,
Slim Jims. I was about to say, what's that thing the wrestlers ate? Oh yeah.
Pixie sticks.
It's got a lot of that. It's got a Velcro ID panel. So depending on what oh my God, that's never come off since I put it on there. But in case you wanted to put some sort of, hey, medical identifier or whatever.
Quality materials.
That's good Velcro. But if you're running around with all your buddies, we try to practice like unit SOP, I guess. And we basically have the same stuff in the same places. Hopefully you have friends to do that with. If not, go find some friends. They're out there. They want to hang out with you too. So the nice part about this is on the outside, there's lots of room to put stuff. If you needed to clip things, to the outside of here. If you need to stick additional, I mean, anything you could think of to stick it out here would work, right? Slimmer TQs like a Slishman, you could probably work in there if you folded it up in like a tube. You could put all sorts of tube wrap in there. If you're a person with more qualification, you could put additional things in there, but beginning it's on the outside of my belt. I don't have anything in there. We don't really use chem lights because I don't have anyone other than Brian coming back to check the rooms that I've cleared to make sure that there's a chem light there. It does have TQ sleeve on the top and bottom as well. So the bottom one for me, I realized that I had it in there initially and then it was getting a lot dirtier than it needed to. So I just ran it on the top. You can run both. So if your job is actually medical stuff, you can have 4 tourniquets literally just on your belt, which is cool, right? Especially if you had one of those RDR tourniquet, like caddy arm things that holds a tourniquet on top of the holster. Bro, you could be Mr. Tourniquet if you wanted to. So on the outside of this thing, we did some mods. That's really what we wanted to talk about because this is the first look. This is how I set it up to run it because initially there were some things that I liked, which is more capability, right? I was a big fan of having more stuff. The downside of that is you look at the profile between this and the SOB, it's bigger. So naturally, it's gonna move more. It's on a super thin 2-row or 1.5 row really, right? 2-row belt. That's this Blue Alpha Warrior Pro belt. So I needed to figure out how to get it to be a little more stable. So I have some shock cord that is actually from 100 Concepts light caps that I use the black one because I saved the tan one for my gear. 100 Concepts, we love you. Don't ever stop sending 2 pieces. You would be cheating people. They don't want to spray paint their stuff, you'd be cheating them. For us, we just love you a little more.
Cheating them out of your love, bro.
Yeah. So I've got shock cord. So it's ran onto the bottom row of the webbing on the belt. And I ran it basically through the tourniquet sleeve on the bottom, crossed it up all the way through these. So it's basically not gonna be a snag hazard. And then I tied it on top of the malice clips. I'll probably have to get some more B-roll because I don't think the B-cam's gonna be able to get this, but there's basically just a little basic knot on top of each one of the malice clips to kind of anchor it on the top and bottom and use the pressure of that elastic cordage to keep it from flopping. So at first it flopped a little bit more. Maybe this is just my struggle. I did put this pouch on correctly. If you're one of those people that's wondering if we know how to weave a pouch through things, yes, I learned that a long time ago, even before Brian. It is secured and maybe on a thicker belt. Obviously, if you had a full size like that HSGI one, again, go watch the belt video.
It might be more stable.
That thing would be super stable because you'd have every single ladder on there, right? Every single row and every single column would be engaged and you could literally do it on all 4. I just used the 2 clips on the outsides and zip tied it on the bottom as well. So there is a couple zip ties here in the middle, just trying to make, I did that before the shock cord. And now they're on there, they're helping retain it. It's not coming off, I promise you.
Right, so besides the flex it had, what are these other mods you got going on?
Yeah, so I was actually about to get to that. So Refuge, a lot of their stuff has red handles, which is great because people immediately will equate that to, oh, I should probably look at that, right? It's an eye-catching thing. But on the flip side, it's an eye-catching thing and you're probably wearing camo, or maybe you have a crazy red holster too. I don't know. I have another holster that's green. It's just never been on camera.
I think it's a length thing too, man. That's why I suggested
it also was a length thing. So we talked about this when we initially got it, and I was like, man, I love this thing, but I need to figure out, I tried to grab it when I was in full kit and pull it out, like testing it. We'll throw some B-roll up of us like actually doing some drills with it. But I did struggle to get the handle a little bit. The other part was that when I use the bungees that it has on here, so it has bungees on each side of the outer sleeve so that it's not going to just drift one way or another. So these are nice because you can tighten them down and then you can basically just stow them inside the sleeve on the bottom. It's not gonna stop the kit from coming in or out. Makes it easier. So the handles, I wanted a little more leverage. So I realized I was like, okay, I've got my thumb hooked in it and I couldn't really get it out properly. So I wanted a full like palm's worth. I just goon tape these on real quick. I should go back and either way over tape them or I should probably sew them, to be honest, probably sew them.
Sew them because I'm giving you the what the hell look over here.
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing is the tape, let's be real, the adhesive is gonna wear out. If I had a needle and like a dental floss or like a field sewing kit, stitch that bad boy up.
Double, triple stitch.
Yeah, so the nice part is I got a big handle. The other nice part is it's camouflage. So it's basically some webbing we had off of the T-Rex quad flap. Just you could use whatever you laying around. You could buy some, however you feel to do it. We did it the cheapest way because we're here for the pours and we're not going to waste money on stuff like that. I want to buy an ammo.
For real though.
Or more nylon because I want to get some mouthfeel. So handle still sticks out. You can stow as much or as little as you want. You can make it as big or as little as you want, right? Mod your gear to where it works for you. Don't do whatever anybody else is doing. So here we go. Okay, I should probably loosen that thing a little bit.
Yeah, you can set these
Could I
tight.
Hercules it out? Yes. Is our table still going to be where it's supposed to be? And the tripod next to it? I don't know.
No.
All right. Ugh. Man. I still didn't get all the elastic. Okay, so this elastic works. If anyone was curious, it does not come out unless you want it to. All right, so inside of here, I got some dummy cord. So I didn't, there's not a tie down. So personal feedback, I guess. Just having, just like the Ferro Roll 1 and a lot of other things, they don't have tie down spots on the medical kit. I get this is basically.
Same with the SOB.
So what?
Same with the SOB.
Same with the SOB, you're right.
So on the SOB, it was a super easy fix.
It has grommets though.
I just added a grommet.
Yep.
I just poked a hole, added 2 grommets, dummy corded it.
Hell yeah. And so on this one, I just used some cordage. Again, just keeping it cheap and simple. So I've got the cordage tied down to the belt. And I should probably do a better knot. Brian wasn't here when I tied that knot, so I just did whatever knot juju seemed appropriate. And I burned it, of course. So I tied it long enough to where it'll come out from both sides. So regardless of which hand I'm deploying it from, I have ample amount of cordage to get it around to the front of my person, right? The whole point is this is for me. So if I need to use it, somebody else needs to use it on me, it needs to pretty much be able to reach whatever side of my body that they're using it, right? If it goes to my legs, goes to the top of me, it's a few feet long, so it's good enough. Will it be more draggy if they have to move me? Yes, it probably will. If I'm still conscious,
matter.
can I hold on to it? Also, yes. Does it matter?
No.
Not really.
You start with self-aid. And
Yeah.
if you can't do self-aid, you require buddy aid. And if I got to move him, it needs to be attached to him.
Yeah. So the nice part about the shock cord is that it keeps this compressed when it's open. So I guess
Less of a snag hazard.
yeah,
when
it's
you're
really
getting drugged.
just like a secondary benefit on the snag hazard part because it basically compresses down flat. Overall, I really like it. I love the inner part. The fact that it's not a yard sale and the fact that you have everything to handle the March algorithm. We'll put the content list up on screen because I'm not going to go through it right now for the
Pretty
sake
extensive.
of length. But
it's everything you need.
so, I mean, you got 2 tourniquets on the outside if you wanted to run them. I already have a secondary tourniquet. Again, if you think you're going to need more, bring more. But to be able to handle everything, I love how the gloves are directly front and center. We kind of shifted one of them a little bit to the side and kind of pulled a little bit extra material just so I can grab that one quickly and go. If I have gloves on already, it's going to be a struggle. Let's be honest, taking them off, putting them on in a hurry, fine motor skills, stress, whatever. But the ability for you to be able to add more in here, right? Say you wanted one of those little red pokey chest things, you could put a couple of those in there. Say you wanted a chem light, so you could just break a red chem light at night in here and be able to have a tiny bit of light to function. That works too. I mean, I could put a crayon in here if I knew I needed to render aid to a Marine.
Or they needed a snack.
I could put I don't know. If you're a lady, you could put lady stuff in there, I guess, too. If you're into that.
Don't use those for gunshot
But
wounds.
not for gunshot wounds, for lady stuff.
Feminine products don't work for that. Don't do that.
I really need to caveat that because I know Bob loves that question.
For real. He did it, Bob. You tell him.
I'm sorry. Tampons are not useful for anything other than their intended purpose. Just stow that one. If you didn't listen to anything else for the past 5 minutes, stow that.
Yeah, take them out your tackle boxes and tool boxes and all that crap.
Yep. So overall, first look at the OPFAK, really enjoy it. I like having a little bit more than the SOB. I like how it's stowed on the outside. I like that if I needed to clip other stuff to it, I can. You have the ability to just kind of scale up or down. I think as far as the inner goes, construction's pretty solid. like everything else they have, the stitching is great. The materials are great. It's what it should be. It's not a corner cut on, hey, I wanted this to be cheaper. As far as the handles go, I don't think they did anything wrong. I think it's just one of those things you have to figure out what works for you and mod your stuff. If it needs to get made to where it works better for you as a person, cool. If you don't want this bigger strap and you just want to tuck the red in, cool. If you want the red to hang out, again, I'm not your cat carrying mom, okay?
Right. Well, in my opinion, Refuge Medical has not cut any corners.
Oh, no.
The dummy cording thing, that's more of an SOP thing or a standard operating procedure for your group.
I would say it's best practices because you should dummy cord your stuff regardless of if you're hanging out with people or not. But it's more of something that we do because it's always just something
I mean,
we do.
they didn't skip any corners, man. I really like their equipment. I'm testing the SOP right now. The only thing I don't like about it is that I don't have more than one. Because I think it would be cool to put it on the headrest of my vehicle. I think they make something for that, don't they?
Yeah, they used to. They actually make the travel OPFAK now, which has a it has a strap on it, I believe. I'll put some pictures up because I don't want to
I'll have to look into that.
Quote it, but basically they have an OPFAK that's made to sit on your headrest or other places. I mean, you got a clip on it. The kit they used to make, I actually ran on my headrest for a long time, and now it's the guts are on a different kit in my plate carrier, and the pouch is actually used for admin on my other one because it's a great pouch. Again, quality stuff.
Yeah, I like their nylon. It's really good.
I mean, overall, I mean, they didn't cheap out on the shock cord. As far as like the tabs, it's good. You have plenty of length because some people are going to want to adjust it and cut it. Again, make it work for you.
I mean, well, you could buy the same idea on Amazon and it's going to blow apart. I mean, this stuff right here, this elastic is the same level of elastic that makes up cummerbunds in high-end plate carriers.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, there's no compromise. There's no compromise.
No, and there shouldn't be. And I mean, I think a lot of people are going to be like, everyone has the issue with the price tag on medical and on other things, but they don't with certain items and they do with others. I'm not really sure why that is. I'm not here to lecture people on how to spend their money. However, TJ says this all the time. So regardless of whether you're going to buy one of their kits or not, have a kit, have good components. Don't buy shit on Amazon or Temu. Obviously, I guess maybe not obviously. So maybe that's just me having kind of been around it. But when people buy stuff like that, it's usually because they don't know, right? They're like, oh, I know I need this thing. It's the Dunning-Kruger curve. I'll throw it up on screen. But you know you need this thing. And then you're like, okay, I got this thing and I need a little bit of knowledge, I'm good. And then you realize how deep the rabbit hole goes down and how the Amazon $20 tourniquets you bought are not gonna do much.
Man, go to gun shows, they sell that kind of garbage all the time. And if you can literally break it, just pick it up and you can break it, just buy good North American rescue, reputable companies like Refuge Medical, go through them for that stuff.
It's funny you said that. So the other day I was watching, I think it was on Instagram, but Bear basically, they bought a cheap BearFAK replica, like some cheap Temu BearFAK, and he basically just pulled the outer part apart, like pulled the outer piece.
Just shredded the pouch.
Yeah, the inner was okay, but they showed the pouch on the outer and he just was able to rip. Granted, he's a bigger dude, but still, if someone can rip that pouch, I can't imagine it's gonna last for a long time.
No.
This will last as long as your belt will, which it's going to be a minute, so we'll let you know how it goes down the road, but this is more just a first look, kind of how we modded ours. We're going to do some more upgrades on it because I want it to be perfect, but I'm pretty happy with the shock cord. It made a huge difference on it moving. Again, that may just be me being a Geardo and being extra particular, but if it's on my belt, and granted, I have a lot of shit on this belt for a whole two-piece belt.
As much stuff as you have on this belt, if any one of these items start moving weird or shaking weird, it's definitely gonna exaggerate itself through your belt.
And granted, this isn't full, and this only has the kit in it, right? So it can't get any smaller. There's nothing else I can do other than take out components I need. So I think a lot of folks are probably curious about the price tag. There's nothing wrong with the price tag. It's just kind of getting to be more educated about the material. And if you're gonna bet your life on something that's cheap, you should reevaluate how much you value your life.
Right. Hey, does Refuge
throwing it out there?
Does Refuge do classes?
They do. We're actually going to be at one here pretty soon. So check out the content on that. Keep an eye out for it. Thanks for watching. Brian, where can they find us?
You can find us at SpicySnafu on Instagram. And since you're already here on YouTube, like and subscribe. Get down in the comments and say something to us. Ask questions. We're looking forward to it.
You can call us Karens. You can tell us we're stupid and we don't need to tie our gear onto us because you know better. I'm cool with hearing about it. If you post it, we're definitely going to read it. I may end up responding to it. We appreciate it regardless. Thanks for watching.
I won't because I don't check them.
He'll read your comments because I'll send them to him. But
that's when I see
he still loves you. It's not that he doesn't love you. Until next time, Brian loves you. Stay spicy.